been working on the Velsicol issue since 2009, since the first public comment came about. It seems that they have not done this community justice from the get-go. When they proposed their cleanup plan, and I say that very loosely, it was more like a cover-up plan. It's required under TDEC law that you release public comment and give the community an option to speak out against it. That went very hastily. It was like in the very back of the paper under, classifieds. No one showed up for the original meeting. And so as part of one thing that the Sierra Club did was to get them to open another public comment period. And we found out through just the chemicals, Velsicol has been developing pesticides for 44 years. And they have done this in other communities. Memphis is one, and it actually took It took the community to gather together and make them clean it up. In 2002, the Department of Justice had to step in for them to clean up some of their other sites, and $42 million went out for these cleanups. So that averaged about $12 million for each cleanup site except Chattanooga. They think that they can get out of this with a $1.9 million cleanup, which is basically dumping 18 inches of dirt on top of the contaminated site. What we do know, just in general, is that the benzene has been linked to leukemia, cancer, liver failure, asthma, respiratory issues. Their choice to do the topsoil on top is that it's the cheapest for them, for one thing, and they claim that if they dig up all this stuff, that it could cause a potential greater harm to the community. However, we know that that is not true. If they do the proper cleanup like they have done in Memphis, in New Jersey, in Minnesota, that it can be reclaimed, and it can be reclaimed for possible industry site, which would be the ideal for this area. However, if they are allowed to go with the cleanup that they have proposed, this will open up for a brownfield possibly if EPA would finally step in. And there will be no development. They will not be able to excavate. Anyone that comes along behind and wants the property will not be able to excavate the land. It is in the deed that they would have to dig up the 18 inches of soil or 18 feet of soil that they want to put, inches of soil that they want to put on it, and then have to deal with the contamination underneath. So I don't know of many companies that are willing to take that kind of risk and go in and clean it up just for a potential, piece of land. And it just seems like they think, because of the lack of community involvement till now, that they can just do this and that TDEC will allow it to be done. TDEC, the problem is that Tennessee has very lax environmental policies. This goes beyond. I think that this would set a precedence if we as a community stand up and say to TDEC, we demand a cleanup, the minimal is not going to do it, and it could affect all of us because by the stormwater runoff and everything else will go right into our sewer, which will go right into the river, okay? It might not affect our drinking water, but it will definitely affect those downstream from us. So now is the time. This is the last option, and because TDEC has been dealing with this since 2008. They want to be done with it, so it's going to be very easy for them just to pass whatever and move on. But we as a community need to stand up and say this is not acceptable. This is an environmental injustice if we allow it to go on like this. Thank you.